Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a while and I apologize for that, but today I'm going to be talking about Granblue Versus and my impressions from the beta. I want to first say that, based on the title of the video, I will be making some opinions about the game that are a little bit on the negative side. I was a little bit underwhelmed about some of the things in the game. However, I'm quick to say that I absolutely love this game. I will play it for sure. It's just that there are a lot of things in there that I didn't expect to be the way that they are in the game. And with all that being said, let's go. Okay, so I played almost exclusively Lancelot in the beta. Okay, so I was very happy to discover the various movement options, the defensive options, the emergency roll, the forward roll, and the in-place evade. The main comparisons that I will be making in this video will be with King of Fighters 98 actually, and with Guilty Gear. Okay, so in King of Fighters 98 and also in 97, if anyone remembers, you have the option to make a choose between two styles. In the first style, you can do a forward roll, and in the second style, you can do like an in-place evasion. And in Granblue Fantasy Versus, you can do both, which is actually pretty cool. You cannot do a back roll, okay, but that's not a big problem. In general, the movements in the game are great. You also have a super jump like in Guilty Gear and of course Blaze Blue, but I didn't know that before the beta, so I was kind of surprised in the positive way. But also I was surprised to see that there are not a lot of different strings that you can do during combos. I'm going to show you what I mean in a second. And I was also surprised to find out that you cannot cancel attacks into a jump like in Guilty Gear. Okay, you can't cancel attacks into a jump, and you cannot cancel attacks into a sweep. So with the unique button, which is very interesting, you have very different actions with all the characters. And the unique button doesn't have a cooldown like the other special moves, but with down and the unique attack, the X button on PS4 on the default configuration, seems like every character in the game has some kind of sweep, but you cannot cancel your normal combos into that sweep. And that might be a problem, but more on that later. Okay, so overall the game plays very smoothly. It's very intuitive, I think, even if you haven't played that many fighting games. It's not very hard to get down the combos. I didn't use, for the most part, any of the shortcuts except for the block button, which I tried to do, for example, like in Guilty Gear, dash and block in order to stop the dashing motion. But you don't seem to be able to do that. You can do a forward dash and a in-place evade, for example, but you cannot do a dash and block. The jumps, like the arcs of the jumps, and it seems to be different for every character, and a lot of characters have cross-ups from what I saw, which is a cool thing to have in general. But overall, all the strings end up with some kind of a 1-2-3 hit combo, which is basically the same with every 3 button presses. The clash system, by the way, is cool. You saw that here briefly. But if you press the light button 3 times, or the mid button 3 times, or the hard slash button 3 times, or even if you press light, medium, hard, you get the same 3-hit combo, or how many hit combo it is, every time with every character. I also play Charlotte a little bit, and it's the same with her too. And this makes the type of offensive plays that you can do a little bit limited. There is also this moment in which you cannot cancel like your low attacks into strings. You can only do the low attacks by themselves. You can do, for example, a low into, with Lancelot, down back the Rekka combo. You can do that with the middle and the hard slash also, but you cannot connect, for example, low light attack with two mid attacks and normal mid attack and a low mid attack into a hard slash grounded and crouching. So this really makes the attack patterns you can do a little bit one-sided. And basically what will happen most of the times, I think, unless they change something drastically into the game, most of the times the game up close will come down to you doing some kind of a string into a safe special attack, and the opponent then gets his turn and he can do something like that. And yeah, this will be probably some aspect of the game that will be a little bit like repetitive maybe, but we're gonna see. Okay, the other thing that I liked a lot and find out that it was pretty interesting was the cooldowns for the special moves into the the shortcuts. I barely even used the shortcuts, but when you do the special moves normally, okay, with the normal like Hadouken and down back command or a Shoryuken command with the normal directional inputs, you don't have to worry about the cooldown with the normal versions. The EX versions of the specials, they have cooldown whether you do them with the shortcut or not. But in general, I don't think that the usage of the shortcuts will be something that will like break the game or something like that. In some cases where you have to do something like a low attack into a special attack that is done by, let's say, crouching medium into forward and medium or hard slash, you can do just down crouching medium attack and then forward and the R1 button, and you can do the special move directly, which is I maybe some relief for new players in terms of execution. But in general, I think that the shortcuts will be mainly used for like the super move combos maybe in a high level of play, but outside of that I don't see them like being that usable in the high level matches. But now I want to get back to the topic of how you cannot cancel strings up close into a sweep attack or into a jump. So this will make the gameplay in a way that you basically don't need to block low after you start blocking a string, unless the opponent has some kind of a like a special that is low hitting. What is going to happen is that after you block the string, you block high and you search for some kind of a gap in order to do, let's say, a just guard or a roll or the in-place evasion. But yeah, since really you cannot cancel with jumps unless you're like Lancelot, but that's a special move, that's another topic. You can of course cancel your strings on block or on hit with the overhead, but since we established already that you cannot cancel the strings with a sweep, there is no point for the opponent essentially to try and block low, so the overhead probably won't hit, and not to mention that on block it can be interrupted with a light attack if the opponent tries to launch at you with the overhead. And yeah, essentially I think that like maybe combining some safe single hit low attacks into strings will be the meta for some characters, but so far I don't see how this will play out. We have to wait for the final game, of course. The other thing that is a little bit, like I said, underwhelming for me is the fact that you cannot use your meter in that many ways. If there is a way to do something like an alpha counter or something like that, please tell me down in the comments, because I wasn't able to see or do anything like this. The only thing that I was able to do with the meter is do special attacks when it's on 100%, or do like the super desperation moves, and like this was it. Okay, and I hope in the final game you can do some other things with your meter. This will be interesting. But all this easier to learn characters pattern that I saw in the game will boil down to the fact that people, even like average fighting game players, will be able to easily learn more than one character, which is not a bad thing. I do not subscribe to the notion that 20 years ago fighting games were a lot better and now everything is easier, therefore it sucks. I do not support that kind of thinking. But if the characters are really that easy to learn compared to, let's say, Guilty Gear, if you want to learn someone like Venom or Ino or like Eggy with his Shadow Gallery combos, if really the characters in this game are easy to learn in Granblue Fantasy Versus, you better make sure that there are at least 20 characters in the final game, because if there are not a lot of characters, it will be a little bit like repetitive to watch and to play, because otherwise the game might become a little bit stale faster than people might anticipate. Of course, this is just my personal humble opinion. I don't know if people that played in the US had the same experience, but in the beta at least, almost all the matches that I played with Lancelot were against Perry. I don't know why so many people chose to play her. Of course, she has a lot of range, a lot of like set play-ish attacks with her, like spirits and stuff, but I think there are a lot of people who will play her in the final game as well, because she's kind of easy to use with her easy to confirm combos and specials from far away. However, I think that she has a lot of gaps in her strings that can be avoided with the forward roll or in-place evasion. Okay guys, thanks for your patience in watching this video that turned out to be longer than I wanted to be, but I love the game and I will play it for sure. Just I have a little bit of minor misgivings, and I would love to see how this will play out in the game when it's finally released. And like I said in the beginning, I'm definitely going to play this game for sure, as well as Samurai Showdown 2019, which comes out later this month, and I'm very excited for that as well. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, in which I'm going to talk specifically only about Lancelot and his combos, his attack options, and other cool stuff like that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!
私は
この勝負を分けてほんのわずかな差だった。やるじゃないか。